Hi there, I'm author Kate Messner, and this is First Chapter Friday for The Trouble with Heroes. This book is about a middle schooler who vandalizes a cemetery and finds himself sentenced to climb all 46 Adirondack high peaks in a single summer. Also, he has to bring along this drooly, smelly dog that he doesn't especially like. This book is written in verse, but other stuff too. It's also including text messages and choose your own disaster sequences. So, a lot of different elements in this story. If I were a better kid, this story would begin with my 7th grade diploma. Instead, it starts with this: local cemetery vandalized. A local youth has been arrested for vandalizing St. Mary's Cemetery over the holiday weekend. Lake Placid police responded to a complaint of someone kicking headstones shortly after 4 p.m. on Friday. Upon arrival, police found one headstone knocked over, detached from its base, and seriously damaged. It marked the final resting place of Edna Grace Thomas, longtime corresponding secretary for the Adirondack 46ers, and one of the first women to climb all 46 Adirondack high peaks. Surveillance camera images led investigators to a juvenile suspect who has been charged with criminal mischief and released into their parents' custody pending a court appearance next week. I'm sorry, okay? School is important. It's bad to damage headstones. This is a haiku. In case you haven't already figured it out, I'm the local youth. Who would have guessed that cemetery surveillance was even a thing? Captured on camera, front page of the newspaper. Vandal. Criminal. Next time I do this, I'll be smarter and not wear Dad's old baseball cap. Everyone's seen me in that FDNY hat. Mystery solved. Case closed. And yeah, I do know haikus are supposed to be nature-y somehow. When I kicked the stone, birds were chirping in the rain like they were laughing. The trouble with vandalism. You can't kick over a headstone if it's the cheap kind, the small, squat, low to the lawn kind, engraved with the name of somebody who used to be a hero. The only kind a family can afford in the middle of a pandemic, when tourists aren't visiting and Graham's chocolate shop is closed, but it doesn't matter anyway. Nobody shows up to say goodbye. You can't hold a funeral in the middle of a pandemic. You can only have Graham and Mom and me and our neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Park, standing 6 feet apart in the rain. If you knew anything about physics and the density of rocks and stuff, if you knew anything about anything, you'd know when you kick a headstone like that, it doesn't tumble and crash the way you want, with a giant thud thundering up to the clouds to let God know how mad you are. It doesn't tumble anywhere. It doesn't even tip. It doesn't move at all. If you're not smart enough to think that through, you kick the stone, leave a muddy, smudged shoe print, and limp away with a bruised foot that hurts so bad you're even angrier than you were when you kicked the headstone in the first place. So angry, you need to kick something else, even though your toe is probably broken, and the rest of you is, for sure. How was I supposed to know? Edna Grace Thomas, loving wife of Henry, mother to Kelly, Patrick, and Scott, also happened to be queen of the high peaks and beloved trail mother to thousands she encouraged to adventure outdoors. Seriously, if a person was really all that, wouldn't you make sure the part of their flimsy grave that said so wasn't all covered in moss? I made a new headline for that newspaper article. Angry kid knocks over gravestone of dead lady who was awesome. Kid is opposite of awesome. Everyone is disappointed in him again. That is the very beginning of The Trouble with Heroes. Pick this up at the library and enjoy the rest of the story.